Hello everyone, it's Brandon from Unleashed Drivers. Today we're going to be doing a video a little bit different from our recent videos, but we're going to be taking a look at what the racing is like at the Hanoi Grand Prix circuit, which was meant to be racing in the F1 season this year, but with the current situation it is not looking too likely. But we are on Assetto Corsa today, running the RSS Studios Formula Hybrid 2020 car at a recently updated Hanoi street circuit on Assetto Corsa. So coming around the first couple of corners, this track has got a few very long straights, followed by some very tight turns, and in the last sector of the track there is a tight bendy section, a lot like Circuit of the Americas. Right now we're passing through a long sweeping corner coming out onto the longest straight of the track, which is also a DRS zone. In my current situation, there is no ways we'll be overtaking anyone. But this longest straight will be one of the biggest opportunities for overtaking in the real race, which we may or may not get this year, probably next year. Coming into a very heavy braking zone, into a hairpin, a very tight hairpin as well. Actually managing to sneak a position or two, bumping the tyre of the car in front, actually grabbing about 2 or 3 positions out of that corner. Then we get followed with a right-hander. Then we enter the S section I was talking about before, which is very much like Circuit of the Americas, except with walls right by the curbs. We pass through a couple more, then we see the pit entry there just to the left. We pass around one more bend, straighten up, and have a tight little another hairpin coming onto the final straight. The start finish straight is also a DRS zone, so it's not an extremely long straight, so we probably won't see too many overtakes coming into this corner. And then we followed with this long right-hander, which is almost like the opposite of the first couple corners at the Nürburgring GP layout. And we have a small S there. AI in front of us gets a bad exit. I managed to sneak up alongside on the right. Now coming into this corner, we sweep to the right and quickly back to the left. In this case, braking later on the outside seems like the place to be. And then try to straighten up as early as possible and then straight line over this curb. I get a little bit sideways there. It hurts our exit. Back onto the long straight, and on Assetto Corsa, any car can open their DRS at any point, or whenever there's a DRS point on the track, any car can open the DRS. You don't have to be within a second behind. So the car in front of me also had his DRS open, which sort of gave him an unfair advantage, but I've still got in a slipstream, which helped me a bit. Tapping tyres coming out of that hairpin, he's still in front. He had a lot of grip around the outside of that turn. Back to the 90-degree right-hander here. No real way to challenge the opponent to head just yet, and especially not through here. Coming through this section, I can see dirty air coming into play. You'll need a lot of downforce to get through this section quickly. But yeah, there will definitely not be any overtaking opportunities just yet until we get back to the start finish straight. Yeah, if you get a good exit out of this turn, you might just get an opportunity to overtake into the first corner, but especially with the opponent ahead having DRS, there's no chance. Okay, first corner, back into the long sweeping right-hander, which is also just after the pit exit. We come back onto this straight, which could very much be an overtaking opportunity. This time I'm going to swing to the left and be alongside my opponent. I'm actually ahead, so if I can brake late enough, doing what he did last time, I should be in front, but in this case, he brakes late again and still keeps the position. So I think I'm still just trying to learn how hard I can be on the brakes in this vehicle, which is very hard. These things slow down extremely quickly. Back onto the longest straight of the track, which is the DRS zone. You go well into 8th gear. I didn't take note of what top speed we're doing here, and with my DRS open, I got a little bit afraid to turn into the corner, because if you turn too much with your DRS open, the car will spin. I just didn't turn enough and I scraped the wall. Luckily we're fine, no damage. Coming into the hairpin again, being on the outside here, a little bit more speed and managed to pull out that corner a bit faster than I did, keeping himself ahead. Back into the S's. In real life, I think the dirty air effect will be more prominent. In the sim, you can get a little bit closer, I think, than you would in real life. There was also a car that had seemed to have parked off the racetrack a little bit through there. Last corner again, and we seem to be gaining on this group of 3 ahead of us, so maybe we'll be up for a bit of a battle towards the end of this race. It's a 5-lap race. I don't know what lap I'm on. It's either 4 or 5 by now. So we're getting towards the end of this race, and so far, the racing, the battling on this circuit, it's mainly just going to be done on these two straights. The one that we're on right now, if the car ahead gets a terrible exit like he just did, I can swing past. This time, I'm just kind of keep it on the left. I'm ahead. I'm a car length ahead of him. Oh, it's close. Side by side. He still once again managed to brake really late, sorry, which allowed him to keep ahead. It's a lot closer this time though. I don't have a slipstream because I'm next to him, but we both had the DRS open, and this time I'm going to make sure I actually turn into the corner, not scrape the wall, because that's not very good. Let's see what happens on the hairpin this time around though. Can I get the position? Braking 100 meter board, I brake later than him, but then he comes flying back ahead. So I feel like maybe I can brake a little bit later. Next time we'll give that a shot. Still right behind him though. This corner could just possibly be an overtaking opportunity if you're close enough up behind the person ahead. And I think in real life, like I said before, this S section, you'll lose a lot more time than I am right here, but to the person ahead. So by the time you get to the final corner, you'll probably have like a second gap, and that'll definitely ruin your chances of having any overtaking opportunity coming into the start-finish straight, which almost makes this DRS zone a little bit useless coming into the first corner. I have an attempt there though, and actually, that was very close, but once again, this guy seems very good on his tyres. Although it is a computer driver, so it's not like a human. This time I come flying past him again. He tends to get a terrible exit of that corner each time. I go for the defensive move and keep on the right this time. Let's see what happens. I brake a lot later, and that time I think seemed to work for me. I keep in front of him, and I've now got the slipstream behind these two cars in front of me, so the guy behind shouldn't be able to challenge me too much into the next hairpin. If you look on the top left, you can see a bit of the replay cam under the red and black car. Coming down towards the hairpin, those cars ahead are side by side. That might give me an opportunity to get close behind. Don't want to get too close and run into the back of them, but this time I have a better line. Well, I think I have an equal exit with this guy in front of me. I'm going to try to tuck into the right-hand side of him here. There we go. So it proves you can do an overtake onto that corner. There we go. I've got one more position out of this. I think this actually is the last lap. This is the last lap, the fifth lap. I don't know if I'm going to be able to overtake this guy. And there's 22 cars, I believe, at the start of this race, so I'm probably sitting around 19th at this point. Coming to the last corner, I can't quite get the exit I want and can't overtake him, but that was a fairly close finish. The racing around the circuit, this circuit doesn't have that many corners. I'm just smacking into the back of him there for fun at the end of the race. Bit of a slide as well, but the only places it seems like you're going to see racing is the two long straights on the circuit. Coming into the hairpins and that little sweeping left-hander at the end of the second straight. Also, just before this video ends, a day after I recorded this video, an update was made to the layout of this track, and so the final sector of the circuit is a little bit different. So I'm just going to play a hot lap of the new layout so you can see what the difference is, and I'll be quiet. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.